An Act of Congress to establish the Treasury Department. Section 1. Be it enacted by the Senate and House of Representatives of the United States of America, in Congress assembled, that there shall be a Department of Treasury, in which shall be the following officers, namely, a Secretary of the Treasury, to be deemed head of the department, a Comptroller, an Auditor, a Treasurer, a Register, and an Assistant to the Secretary of the Treasury, which assistant shall be appointed by the said Secretary. Section 2. And be it further enacted, that it shall be the duty of the Secretary of the Treasury to digest and prepare plans for the improvement and management of the revenue, and for the support of public credit, to prepare and report estimates of the public revenue and the public expenditures, to superintend the collection of revenue, to decide on the forms of keeping and stating accounts and making returns, and to grant under the limitations herein established, or to be hereafter provided, all warrants for monies to be issued from the Treasury, in pursuance of appropriations by law, to execute such services relative to the sale of the lands belonging to the United States, as may be by law required of him, to make report and give information to either branch of the legislature, in person or in writing, as he may be required, respecting all matters referred to him by the Senate or House of Representatives, or which shall appertain to his office, and generally to perform all such services relative to the finances as he shall be directed to perform. Section 3. And be it further enacted, that it shall be the duty of the Comptroller to superintend the adjustment and preservation of the public accounts, to examine all accounts settled by the Auditor, and certify the balances arising thereon to the Register, to countersign all warrants drawn by the Secretary of the Treasury, which shall be warranted by law, to report to the Secretary the official forms of all papers to be issued in the different offices for collecting the public revenue, and the manner and form of keeping and stating the accounts of the several persons employed therein. He shall moreover provide for the regular and punctual payment of all monies which may be collected, and shall be prosecutions for all delinquencies of officers of the revenue, and for debts that are or shall be due to the United States. Section 4. And be it further enacted, that it shall be the duty of the Treasurer to receive and keep the monies of the United States, and to disperse the same upon warrants drawn by the Secretary of the Treasury, countersigned by the Comptroller, recorded by the Register, and not otherwise. He shall take receipts for all monies paid by him, and all receipts for monies received by him shall be endorsed upon warrants signed by the Secretary of the Treasury, without which warrant, so signed, no acknowledgment for money received into the public treasury shall be valid. And the said Treasurer shall render his accounts to the Comptroller quarterly, or oftener if required, and shall transmit a copy thereof, when settled, to the Secretary of the Treasury. He shall, moreover, on the third day of every session of Congress, lay before the Senate and the House of Representatives fair and accurate copies of all accounts by him from time to time rendered to and settled with the Comptroller as aforesaid, as also a true and perfect account of the state of the Treasury. He shall at all times submit to the Secretary of the Treasury and the Comptroller, in the sum of $150,000, payable to the United States, with condition for the faithful performance of the duties of his office, and for the fidelity of the persons to be by him employed, which bond shall be lodged in the office of the Comptroller of the Treasury of the United States. Section 5. And be it further enacted, that it shall be the duty of the Auditor to receive all public accounts, and after examination to certify the balance and transmit the accounts with the vouchers and certificate to the comptroller for his decision thereon, provided that if any person whose account shall be so audited be dissatisfied therewith, he may within 6 months appeal to the comptroller against such settlement. Section 6. And be it further enacted that it shall be the duty of the register to keep all accounts of the receipts and expenditures of the public money, and of all debts due to or from the United States, to receive from the comptroller the accounts which shall have been finally adjusted, and to preserve such accounts with their vouchers and certificates, to record all warrants for the receipt or payment of monies at the Treasury, certify the same thereon, and to transmit to the Secretary of the Treasury copies of the certificates of balances of accounts adjusted as is herein directed. Section 7. And be it further enacted that whenever the Secretary shall be removed from office by the President of the United States, or in any other case of vacancy in the office of Secretary, the Assistant shall, during the vacancy, have the charge and custody of the records, books, and papers appertaining to the said office. Section 8. And be it further enacted that no person appointed to any office instituted by the Act shall directly or indirectly be concerned or interested in carrying on the business of trade or commerce, or be owner in whole or in part of any sea vessel, or purchase by himself or another in trust for him any public lands or other public property, or be concerned in the purchase or disposal of any public securities of any state or of the United States, or take or apply to his own use any emolument or gain for negotiating or transacting any business in the said department, other than what shall be allowed by law. And if any person shall offend against any of the prohibitions of this act, he shall be deemed guilty of a high misdemeanor, and forfeit to the United States the penalty of $3,000, and shall upon conviction be removed from office, and forever thereafter incapable of holding any office under the United States, provided that if any other person that a public prosecutor shall give information of any such offense, upon which a prosecution and conviction shall be had, 1/2 the aforesaid penalty of $3,000, when recovered, shall be for the use of the person giving such information.